All right, Daniel. Love this time of year. I'm walking down the seasonal aisles at the store over the weekend, and it was hard to miss the massive changes that are happening on the shelves. The summer beach towels and patio chairs, gone, big time clearances. But now they've been replaced with stacks of notebooks, binders, and giant boxes of pencils.
Yes, the annual return of the school supply list. It always seemed to catch families by surprise how fast the summer flies by. One minute you're planning weekend trips, and the next you're holding a 3-page printout from the school district listing every single item your kid needs for the classroom.
And depending on how many kids you have, it can cause a lot of immediate stress for households. So when you look at the price of clothes, shoes, backpacks, specialized tech items all hitting at the same exact time, it really can feel like a massive financial wave just crashing over your monthly cash flow.
It really can. In fact, seasonal school shopping has grown into one of the largest family expenses of the entire year outside of the winter holidays. But the reason it derails so many household budgets isn't because parents don't want to buy the items. It's simply because it's a big, sudden cost that rarely gets planned for in advance.
Right. And people treat it like an emergency, but it happens at the exact same time every year, every time. So the good news is that you don't have to let the classroom supply list break your financial peace. We're going to help out with that. So with the simple, organized strategies, you can really master the seasonal shopping without draining your bank account.
That is exactly what we are focusing on today. We're going to break down the psychology of seasonal spending traps, show you how a quick look through your own home can save you a bundle up front, and give you a stress-free plan to handle the classroom list like a pro. Welcome back to Making Sense of Your Sense. I'm Daniel Hill.
And I'm Shanna Browning. And today, we're going to focus on a highly practical topic. Back to school, budgeting for the supply list. And we're going to discuss how to prevent seasonal costs from just knocking your monthly budget right off track, how to spot what you may already own before you buy new, and how to shop intentionally. If you have kids or grandkids heading back to the classroom, this is really your ultimate financial game plan.
So, Shanna, let's start by talking about why seasonal shopping, whether it's back to school season, holiday season, or summer vacation season, frequently causes so much havoc during our daily tracking tools. Why does a typical household budget struggle to absorb these events?
Well, I think in our experience, we've kind of realized that it comes down to a structural habit most of us have when we build our spending guidelines out, Daniel. So when people map out their cash flow or their budget, they tend to focus exclusively on their predictable, steady monthly bills. That's going to happen all the time. Mm-hmm. So they write that down, their rent or their mortgage. Then you've got the utilities and you've got internet and you've got grocery baselines and insurance costs. So we have all those.
Right. And the things that hit every single 30 days like clockwork, those are the ones you think about most often. They look stable on a standard spreadsheet.
That's right. But then a major seasonal event comes along and suddenly you have to drop an extra $300, $500, sometimes $800 on shoes, school uniforms, classroom supplies over the course of a single weekend, because that expense wasn't a line item as you're setting your monthly budget for May, June, or July. You're looking at vacation time or travel ball or things that are kind of going to be there, but now it hits like a sudden shock to your system.
And then people end up relying on credit cards to cover the gap, which turns a temporary seasonal expense into a long-term debt issue that carries over into the fall or beyond. It's a classic cycle. But the irony is that these events are completely predictable. We know exactly when the first day of school is going to happen.
Listen, you can't tell me parents aren't looking for that first day of school after so many months off in the house. So we know it's an event on the calendar. And so to break out of that cycle, we've got to start treating seasonal expenses as predictable milestones rather than sudden emergencies. So let me say that again. You got to break out of that cycle and you got to start treating seasonal expenses as predictable milestones rather than sudden emergencies. It's about recognizing that your true annual cost of living includes these periodic humps in spending.
And it really is a mindset shift. You know you spend roughly $600 every August on school-related needs. That isn't an August emergency. That is simply a $50 a month savings goal that you should be accumulating all year long in a dedicated pool. When you build a plan around the timeline of your life, the stress completely vanishes from the shopping trip. Now, let's talk about the absolute first physical step every family should take before they even drive to the store or type their credit card number into a shopping website. We call it the home inventory advantage, and it's a massive money saver. Shanna, why is this step so critical?
Well, I think because most of us are literally already sitting on that hidden treasure of supplies inside our homes, Daniel. Over the course of the previous school year, items get pushed to the back of closets, left in desk drawers, or tossed into plastic bins. If you don't look through what you already own first, you're going to end up buying duplicates of things that you have in perfect condition.
I am definitely guilty of this.
Aren't we all?
You go to the store, buy a brand new pack of 24 color pencils or a box of highlighters, only to come home, clean out a playroom cabinet a week later, and find 3 unopened boxes of 24 colored pencils from the year before.
It happens all the time. I mean, marketing campaigns do a fantastic job of making us feel like every single school year requires a completely fresh start with brand new items. But a ruler from 2025, I'm going to tell you, measures exactly the same as a ruler for 2026 does. So a pair of safety scissors doesn't need to stop working just because the calendar changed.
Exactly. That is so very true. So how should a family actually run this inventory step without it feeling like a chore?
Well, I think you can make it a fun family event or maybe even a game before the shopping season begins. Gather all those backpacks from the previous years that have been sitting in the closet. Empty out every single pocket. Dump all those loose supplies onto the kitchen table. Test the markers. See which ones still work, which are a little dim and not as usable anymore. Sharpen the existing colored pencils. And check which binders are still sturdy and clean.
It's like doing a mini clear out of your home. You can get the kids involved in organizing it, and it teaches them a great lesson about valuing what they have instead of automatically reaching for the next new thing.
I mean, it really is a teaching tool, Daniel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Be content with what we have, right? And so once you have that pile of usable items, cross them off that school supply list, you're really going to be shocked at how much you can eliminate before you even go to the store. And I think you and I both know that's a pure profit staying right in your pocket because you took 20 minutes to verify your existing inventory that's in your home.
Hey everyone, Daniel here, stepping in for just a quick second. When we started making sense of your sense, we had one simple goal: to take the confusion out of everyday finances. We believe that financial education shouldn't be locked behind fancy jargon or expensive consultants. It should be practical, accessible, and easy to understand for everyone. If you've learned something valuable from our show, maybe a tip that saved you a few bucks or a concept that, just finally clicked, do us a huge favor and share that episode with a friend or family member. True wealth is built when we all learn and grow together. Thanks for being a part of this community. Now, let's get back to the show. Okay, so we've checked our closets, crossed off the duplicates, and now we're left with the final necessary list of things we actually need to buy. When we hit the stores or browse online, how do we keep from falling into the temptation trap that push our tabs over the edge?
Well, I think you have to tell yourself you're going to shop with a firm baseline and have an intentional strategy. So the first rule is to stick strictly to the items required by the school. Retailers are masters at just putting flashy branded and high priced items right at that eye level or those end caps in the store to tempt you and your kids.
Right. A basic spiral notebook might cost less than $1. But the one featuring a popular movie character or a trendy cartoon, it might be $5 or $6. And when you multiply that price difference across 10 or 15 different items on a list, your total bill can easily double or triple purely based on the decorations on front of the folder.
Which is crazy. A folder's a folder.
Right.
And so one strategy that I think we can navigate to this is to buy the plain, budget-friendly baseline supplies. And then let your kids personalize them at home using stickers or markers.
Oh, that's
It
good.
gives them the ability to be creative and have fun with what you've got them without forcing you to pay premium prices for just corporate branding.
That is brilliant. That is a brilliant, inexpensive solution. What about the timing of shopping? Should parents buy everything all at once during the first week of August?
Listen, you don't think marketers don't know about that either? So not necessarily. I mean, that's when your demand is highest, right? And prices can be peak. But another really great approach is to only buy the immediate essentials needed to work for week number 1. That's your goal. Things like paper, pencils, and specific binders requested. Many times teachers are going to modify their requirements once classes actually start, or you'll find that certain supplies aren't actually needed until later in the semester. And let's be honest, Daniel, I mean, we have tax-free weekend in Tennessee, right?
Yeah.
Perfect time. Find out when tax-free weekend usually is like we talk about that first weekend of school, right? That first week.
Right.
So it's probably a really good time that you can save on the tax-free side, but still be mindful of that as well.
Again, only get exactly what you have to get.
Right.
And then for the other things, if you wait a few weeks after the initial school rush has passed, retailers will put all their remaining school supplies on deep clearance just to clear out aisle space for the upcoming fall decorations.
Yay, fall!
And then you can restock on paper, pens for a fraction of the cost if you stretch your purchases over a longer timeline.
Well, that's right. And it's about pacing yourself. I think we get in the mindset of everything has to be now, right? And so we panic. But if you pace yourself, you don't absorb the entire cost of the school year in a single Saturday afternoon.
Right.
So by shopping intentionally and spacing out the non-urgent purchases, like you mentioned, you can keep your monthly cash flow really perfectly smooth and stress-free. So I think, this topic is always incredibly popular with, our community that listens to us or people we run into. And so we see a lot of discussions about how to manage expectations with older kids. So middle schoolers and teenagers and high schoolers, where style and peer pressure really start to play a bigger role in clothing and tech choices, actually. So how do you handle that boundary?
Well, that is a major hurdle as kids grow up. The clothing and shoe choices get significantly more expensive, and the desire for specific brand names becomes a lot stronger. A great strategy here is to use what we call the allowance cap method. Sit down with your teenager, tell them exactly how much money is allocated in the family budget for their school clothes. Let's say $200.
And then let them make those actual choices within that specific boundary?
Exactly. You set that up front and you tell them this is your fund for the season. If you want to buy a single pair of high-end designer shoes that takes up the entire $200, you can do that. But then you'll need to use your own savings or birthday money to cover your shirts and jeans. It instantly shifts that dynamic from an argument with a parent to a lesson in real-world prioritization.
And listen, I love that. I love that because it gives them that complete agency piece of that while protecting the family's budget baseline. So they learn the trade-offs of opportunity cost firsthand in a safe environment. And that's the goal as parents, is to teach them that. So laptops and things that we hear a lot about. So let's talk about tech. You know, these tablets and I don't know, everything that's out there. Laptops are becoming standard list items, even for younger grades now. So how, as a family, do you handle large tech purchases safely? Because I know you have a lot of kids that need things for school. So how do you handle that?
Well, like you said, tech is a major investment. Before you buy anything, check directly with the school's technology representative to see if they have specific minimum requirements or partnership discounts. Many tech brands offer substantial student discounts if you purchase through their official education portals. Also, don't overlook high-quality refurbished devices from verified manufacturers. They often come with the exact same warranty as a brand new device, but at a much lower cost. Because, be honest, kids are going to break things.
Or lose them.
Or trade them.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
That's right.
So look at those refurbished devices. Nothing says it has to be brand new. Protect your wallet by researching those avenues first.
That's great, Daniel. It's really great information.
We really hope that this has been practical and a timely roadmap for managing our seasonal needs. So let's hand our listeners their clear assignment for this week.
You know I love an actionable tip. So here it is for the week. The closet inventory. Check what you have at home before buying your new supplies.
Sometime before this weekend, clear off a flat space in your home, like the dining room table or a clean spot on the living room floor. Pull out every single backpack, because you know you still have them, every single bin and drawer where old school supplies might be hiding from the past year.
And lay it out there. Put it out in the open and test it out. Count up the folders, see which pin's still right, and find out what truly is reusable. Match what you find directly against your official school supply list that you've got and cross off anything you already own before you even walk into a store. And I think taking this single step will help keep your hard-earned money right where it belongs, working for your family's future stability. And you know, Daniel, running a quick home check before a major shopping season is pretty much a simple way to practice mindful spending. It turns what normally feels into really a hectic routine into an intentionally family habit.
Absolutely, Shanna. It's all about staying in the driver's seat of your cash flow. When you plan ahead and build on what you already have, you can look forward to a fresh school year with total confidence and zero financial baggage.
And I think that goes back to what we talked about just a second ago too. Like, don't make it an unexpected expense or an emergency. Set up a savings account. If you've got an account at your bank, you can set up a savings account very easy that can just be school supplies. And that's how you can name it, you know, for things just like this. So you've already budgeted for that too. So, you know, I think as we look to next Tuesday, we're going to talk about savings as well, but in a different step. So we're going to talk stepping into a massive guide on optimizing your healthcare savings. So we're going to talk about HSAs and FSAs.
There's
So easy to say, right? The tax-free healthcare edge.
Oh, this is an incredible multi-layered topic, Shanna. We're going to look at health savings accounts, that's your HSA, and flexible spending accounts, that's your FSA. Explain the clear difference between them and show you how these unique tools can give you a major tax advantage for both your current medical needs and your long-term retirement planning.
And I hope you know that we love really being a big part of your weekly routine. So sit down with your list, take a look through those closets together, and let's meet right back here next Tuesday to keep making sense of your scents.